Literally, as of right now, the moment I published this video, it is now public. Logos Bible Software 9 is out. Am I supposed to say Logos 9? Did I already butcher this thing? Anyways, I have been given the opportunity to beta test Logos 9 for a little over a month now, and there's been a lot of things that I've enjoyed. Just some context here, I am a church planter, pastor. I preach roughly 40 to 45 Sundays a year, and so the way I look at Logos Bible Software is just to help me preach better, help me raise up the flock, make sure my exegesis is still, I was gonna say on fleek, but that I'm even too old for that now. And so I'm super grateful for the guys at Logos Bible Software that gave me this product to check out. And really, this review is more of, hey, this is coming as a pastor. I'm not in seminary anymore. I am not somebody who's interested in being a professor. I just want to preach God's word and do it effectively. And I have been a customer of Logos. In fact, I still want to call it Logos. That's my preference. But I've been a customer since Logos 4. And so I've seen a lot of new iterations. To be honest, sometimes I feel like some of the updates weren't that big of a deal. I remember 5. That was a big deal. I think I was in college. But now it's 9, and I'm super grateful for some of the additions. I think you could probably find some videos that probably have a better explanation of all the nerdy stuff, but this is just the quick, you're a pastor, you don't got time for that. Check it out. Well, I'm gonna give the review right now. Link in description to give you a discount, and it helps a church planner out a little bit. So let's jump into it. Here's some things that I've really enjoyed. I kind of put together a list as I've been looking at it for the last month or so, and some things that I think are really helpful. Again, this is not exhaustive, but as a pastor, what do I want to see in Logos Bible Software? That is the goal. All right, so here I am on the normal panel. As you'll notice right away, something that I think is amazing is you now have dark modes. So you go to the top right, and for application theme, you can do light, dark, system. I click dark, and when you click dark, it actually requires you to restart Logos Bible Software. But I don't know, for me, I do this on my phone now. I'm everything dark mode, and so I'm super grateful that now, I think it's a small thing, but it goes a long way. The biggest thing for me as a pastor, I constantly go to the guides, and I always go to passage guides. So let's go up there right now. Right now we're in 1 Timothy. In fact, this coming Sunday, I'm gonna be in 8 through the rest of the passage. I'm such a terrible pastor, not knowing how far it goes through. As you may know, this is a really tough passage, so pray for me. I really need stuff like Logos Bible Software. In a culture that we're in, it's not the easiest to talk about what Paul meant when he was talking to the ladies of the church and being in good conduct. Okay, let's look at Logos Bible. Logos. I want to say Logos so bad. So here it is. This is the typical commentaries. But here's something I really like. Here in this new format and the commentaries, you can actually organize these by different items. So these are the series, which is helpful. So these are the ones just in a greater series. The author, which to be honest, as me, I usually remember people by their author name. And so, oh great, boom, I could just go straight there. Something I think is really neat is denomination. And so me as a Baptist, my first go-to will be to go here, but then I love to see what my Presby friends are checking out and all this stuff. So I think this is a really helpful tool as well. You could even go into the type, but also the era, which I find fascinating. I'm somebody who loves church history, and I love to think, what were people thinking about it in the past? And so even right here in the commentaries, I love this new option, be able to kind of organize everything accordingly. And I think it'll just really help you just figure out which commentaries you want. And yeah, that's a small thing, I suppose, but it's a big thing for me. Something I also thought was very neat as a pastor, because let's be real, in COVID-19, 2020, everything happening, 2021, counseling is something, me as a small church pastor, I don't have a counselor on staff. I have to do a lot of the counseling, and it's a joy of mine, but it's been kind of overwhelming if we're all honest with ourselves. And so this actually is a really helpful resource that Logos has began to offer with Logos 9. So check this out. You go to the guide section and you go to counseling guide. And now you have different topics. So I was actually searching this earlier. Let's just look anxiety, something that we're all feeling in this time. And it automatically gives you like a summary, but I love this whole, when you go to read more, you have portraits. This is where they kind of organize everything, definitions and key thoughts. So again, you're about to go into a meeting. I think it's really helpful to overlook this, remind yourself of stuff you possibly learned before, also learning some new stuff, right? And so they talk a lot here. What is PTSD? What is social anxiety disorder, obsessive compulsive disorder? And so it really helps you understand, get language around what possibly your congregation is going through. Again, I think that's really helpful. Something I really love is this assessment interview. So here's questions that they provide. What are some things that cause you to worry or to be anxious? What are some of the symptoms you experience when you feel anxious? Are you constantly tense, worried, feeling on edge? So me as a pastor, I think so much of the power in counseling is asking the right questions. And what's great about this is they give you 12 questions to ask. You don't have to use all of them, but I love that I have these questions on hand quickly and easily. And so even how much sleep did you get? Did you sleep well? Is there anything from your past that you think about often or obsess about? When I see these questions, I think, duh, right? But I don't think of those naturally. So me as a pastor with a bunch of other things running around in my head, I'm very thankful for this counseling guide. Again, I picked the easiest topic with anxiety as far as there's a lot here, but you can search all sorts of stuff. And then this gives even tips for wise counsel. And I love the action steps. Have them search their thoughts. How do you take care of yourself? Advise them to exercise regularly, yada. I really think biblical insights, scriptures that you can go to. Really, this is possibly the thing I am most grateful for. Even here, they always give recommended resources. And so, great, Tony Evans talks about anxiety in a book, Letting Go, Breaking Free from Fear and Anxiety. So maybe I'm thinking I'm going to bring my church member through this book, right? And so this is all just very helpful. And I think it will just really encourage pastors who have a million things going on, but we want to care for our people, but we didn't get a counseling degree in seminary. This will help us. Now, if you're anything like me, honestly, Logos is mainly for preaching. That's the thing. So there is something they called Sermon Builder, which I have heard that they used in past. I'm such a Word document guy. I have my own system set up, but I do want to show it to you because I do think if I can get myself to enjoy this Sermon Builder, it seems like it's the best way to save your stuff. I won't lose it. I don't need to worry about a hard drive failing on me. And they have a really cool where you can now preach it and it goes into a web page. Anyway, let me show you it real quick. So you go to Tools, and then you just go to Sermon Builder, and boom, right away, you title the message, and then you start typing out your intro here. You go down, and then there's all sorts of, you can then label new things. Okay, heading 2, illustration, prompt, all these different slides, and this is a Sermon Builder that people can access in your sermons. Again, I'm just going to leave it at that because, I won't use that, but I wanted you to at least know that that's a thing. One thing they do have for sermons that I think is very helpful, that I will use. I don't know if you're like me, but I have looked online. I have bought templates for sermon calendars, right? And it's always on Excel. And if you're like me, I don't use Excel. The only time I use it is to plan out my preaching calendar. This does have a better option for preaching calendar. You go down to Tools again, and you go to Sermon Manager. This is good stuff. This automatically, for me, gave me the dates that are left. I can pick, okay, what do I want to do? Which calendar year? You can also do liturgical, which is pretty neat. I am not that kind of Baptist. I'm this kind of Baptist, so boom. And I love it. So I just click on here when I do my sermon title, and it automatically starts going in. Slogans are broken, topics, the passage, right? All of these things. So this is great because, again, when I want to look at stuff in the future, I am able to just look back and kind of see where my year is going, who is the guest speaker, right? What is the topic? It helps me look back. It's really organized. I think it's great. I think it's one of my favorite things. Again, if you're like me, I have tried to rely on other stuff like Excel and buying $10 templates online. I still am so regretful that I bought that. This is great. And so I think this is a great tool. I'm going to use this for sure. I even just noticed you can add Wednesdays if you want to do that, because if you teach Wednesday nights or Sunday nights or whatever. So there's all sorts of options there. Super user friendly. I can delete that. Boom. Now we're back to normal. You can remove the venue because let's be honest, guys, most of us only got one service. I only have one. Shout out to us. speaker, I think, is helpful, especially if you have a good... Anyways, this is fantastic. You should check it out. One more thing. Again, I like the dark mode. I like the sermon manager. Not so much a sermon builder. I think the counselor guide is incredible. I love the way for the passage guide that they now organize by era or denomination or priority. This is all great. This is all good stuff. The last thing I think is pretty neat that I honestly, I was like, okay, that's cool. That's cool. Go to tools again and just search Bible books, Explorer, interactive media. I really enjoy this. I think this is really going to be a powerful tool for you as a pastor. So what we have here is this gives you the ways the Bible interacts with each other. So we got all the books. So what does this blue mean? What is it? It's a narrative. This is expository. It's procedural, narrative, behavioral, expository. This is great. The way that it kind of defines everything. It really helps you kind of see some things here. I don't even know what some of this is. Let's do timeline. So if you want to do chronological, I love this. Can I be honest? As a pastor, sometimes I think, Trey, when was this written? Was this before that or after this? 1 Timothy, towards the end of Paul's ministry, those are the questions people ask. And usually I go online, but this I can quickly search it and it gives me everything. So this is pretty incredible here. You got the timeline. I can see now. When was 1 Timothy written? Oh, let me zoom up a little bit here, huh? Oh, okay. It was towards the end of Paul's ministry, at least, right? So this, I think, is a valuable tool. I'm going to use this a lot, if I'm honest. I think this is going to be pretty great. This is going to be a very valuable tool for me. Enter text, you see where they all reference each other. Look at that. You can highlight, okay, Hebrews is connected to Psalms, which connect to Isaiah and Jeremiah and Genesis. And this is valuable stuff. Super, super good stuff that I think is just really cool looking too, right? Anytime it cites, here's quotations, here's the allusions to one another. I mean, that's just phenomenal. You get stats, law, history. Guys, there's a lot here. Anyways, I said I would be brief. This isn't a huge, exhaustive, but I just think, I know you, pastor, preacher. You want to know, what do I really need to know? And hopefully that was enough to encourage you, if you have Logos Bible software, to upgrade to number 9. Again, if you want a link, a discount, the link is in the description. That would be great. It's a win-win situation for both of us. Okay, so again, make sure you guys subscribe to this channel. I usually do a lot of things about ministry. The slogan around here is Jesus offers us a better way to life, and he offers us a better way to lead. I would love to talk to you, hang out. If you're somebody who likes Logos Bible software, I think we'll get along just fine. Hope to bring you guys some valuable content. Anyways, check out the link in the description. Go get Logos 9. Tell them Trey sent you. That'd be cool. I really want to send more people over there than Jason Mayfield does. I don't know how successful that will be. All right, goodbye.